how do we add polynomials? So now let's say if I were to ask you, what is the answer of 2 plus 10? Well, you will say it's simply 12, right? We know how to add two numbers. But now instead of two numbers, let's say we have two polynomials. We have x plus 1, and the first polynomial px is x plus 1, and let's say the second polynomial is 2 plus 2x. So these are our two polynomials, and now what we want to do is we want to simply add px and gx. We want to find out what is the answer here. Now, there are only two steps that are involved. The first step is we write each of the polynomials in standard form. We have seen earlier how we do this. We simply arrange the terms from the highest part of the variable to the lowest part of the variable. And the second step is we combine the like terms. So let's first write each of the polynomial in standard form. So our px will be, so this is our px. So it's a linear polynomial, x is raised to power 1. So this is our first term. So that we write px as this. Now plus, this is our plus. Now the second term, the second polynomial. Now here, this is again a linear polynomial. So the second term is raised to power 1. X is raised to power 1. So we write this as the first term for the second polynomial. We write it like this, and then comes the constant term. Now we have to do the second step, which is combining the like terms. So what do we mean by the word like term? Well, like term simply means same variable raised to the same power. So here we have a variable x, which is raised to power 1. Here we have a variable x. This term has a variable x, which is raised to power 1. So we simply want to combine these two terms. So we write it like this, x plus 2x. So we want to write x plus 2x. And now we have the two constant terms. Can we combine the constant terms? Of course we can, because let's do it over here. We can think of 1 as 1 times x raised to power 0. And we can think of 2 as similarly 2 times x raised to power 0, right? So it will be simply, we can add these two. And when we add these two, we get 3 times x raised to power 0, which is just 1, or just 3, right? So here, if we were to add them, it will be 1x plus x, it will be 3x plus 3. So if these are the two polynomials, when we add them, we get this as our answer. So let's take a look at another example, and this time let's have our polynomials defined something like, say for example, 2 plus x plus maybe x cubed plus maybe x squared. And here we have gx, which is the second polynomial, and let's write this as 5x plus 7 maybe plus 6x cubed. So these are our two polynomials, and we want to add them. So how do we add them? So well, simply we want to write each of the polynomial in standard form, right? So let's write the first polynomial. Now here, this is the term that contains the highest power. So this comes first, then this is next, plus x squared. Then we have x, which is this term, and then finally 2. So x, and then we have 2. So this is our first polynomial, and we want to add, let's do it over here. So this plus our second polynomial is, so this is the highest term, so 6x cubed. Then we have 5x. Then we have 7. Now let's do it over here. So let's give ourselves a little bit space over here. Now if you look at these terms, so the first term, so which are the like terms? So x cubed and x cubed, right? So we want to do it like this. 3x cubed plus 6x cubed, right? Next we have x squared here, but there are no x squared terms here. So we don't have anything to add to this. So we will leave it the way it is, right? Then we have the x term. We have an x over here, and we have 5x. So we write it like this. And then we have the constant term 2 plus 7. And now we just simplify. So this will be 7x cubed. Then this will be x squared. This will be 6x. And this will be 9. So when we add these two polynomials, our answer is this. So let's take a look at one final example. And this time, let's say we have our polynomials as, say the first one is 7x squared, maybe minus 6 minus x cubed. So this is the first polynomial. And our second polynomial is, let's say we have x raised to the power 5 minus 6x cubed plus 2 minus 2x squared. So say these are our two polynomials, and again we are simply trying to find out px plus gx. Right? We are trying to find out polynomial. We're just looking to see what will happen if we add these two. So we want to write each one of them in standard form. So for the first one, it will be minus x cubed plus 7x squared minus 6. This is px. Plus, we have x raised to the power 5. This is the first term. Minus 6x squared minus 2x squared. Actually, this is x cubed. So I should write this as x cubed. Then we have minus 2x squared and plus 2. Right? So when we add them, so combining the like terms, so we notice that x raised to power 5 is by itself here. There are no corresponding terms here. So that comes first. Right? Now, next we have a x cubed term here. So we have a minus x cubed and we have minus 6x cubed. So then we write them together. Next, we look at the square term. So we have a 7x squared and we have a minus 2x squared. So we then group them together, and then we have a minus 6 over here and a plus 2. And now let's just write this. So we have x power 5. This will be minus 7x cubed. This will be plus 5x squared minus 4. So this will be the answer when we try to add these two polynomials. So just a quick recap. Essentially, whenever we look to add polynomials, we will write the polynomial in the standard form and we will simply combine the like terms. One quick observation that I wanted to make here is that now this is true whenever we want to add any algebraic expressions, not just polynomials.